Welcome to the Daily Sales Training Call. My name is Wayne Wallace, and my goal is to help you become a better salesperson and make more sales. The fact that you're here with me on the live call or listening to the recording tells me that you are serious about your success and that you want to master your sales skills. Today is January 17th, 2018, and today we're going to be talking about social media selling. But first, let me tell you the good news, that no one is born a great salesperson, and anyone can learn how to become a great salesperson, and that's why I do this call, because first we need to learn some skills, and then we need to practice them. And there's two parts to this call. The first part is the training part, and the second part is the practice part. So later on when I open up the call, we can practice our scripts, our pitches, our greetings, whatever we need to practice. So if you have time, stick around and do some practicing, because you definitely want to practice in a safe space with people that are like you, other salespeople, instead of practicing on your prospects, because you don't want to blow a prospect. You worked hard enough to get them, right? So I'm not some kind of expert or guru, and I don't claim to be. I'm just like you. I'm learning on a daily basis. And I have many sales coaches and mentors that I learn from, and then I try and bring a little golden nugget of information here to you on the call and teach it to you and learn it better myself, because they say the best way to learn something is by teaching it. I've also set up some social media pages, so if you want to connect with other salespeople and follow me on social media, just search for Sales Skills Mastery. I've got a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a Twitter page, a LinkedIn group, so there's plenty of ways for you to connect. I'm also using a couple of other apps which are kind of new and different. One's called Telegram and one's called GroupMe. And I've set up a Sales Skills Mastery group on both of those. And it's kind of like text messaging, but it's a group type thing like a Facebook group, but it's separate from Facebook. It's not part of Facebook. So some people have a thing about Facebook. They don't want to be on it. So I looked for a way to create a group atmosphere outside of Facebook. So that's on the GroupMe and the Telegram app, and I'll post those links in my social media as well. So let's get this call started. So today we're going to talk about social media selling and what's your strategy. And every one of you, no matter what you sell, what you do, you should have a social media strategy. Now, I know some people that have a social media strategy and it's doing nothing. And that's not working. So here's some top three things that your top three goals for social media. One is to be known. Like, if people don't know you, how are they going to buy from you? Right? You got to build a prospect list somehow. So you got to be known. You got to find other people to connect with. And number two is to get out of obscurity. So it's kind of the same as one, but a little bit different, because if people don't know you, then how are they going to buy from you? And, you know, how's the world going to know about you and your product if you don't get out of obscurity? And number three, and this is probably the most important one, is you got to connect with people and get them on your list. Like, most of you people on this call are on my list already. You're connected with me somehow. You're either on my text blast list, you're on my email list, you're connected with me on Facebook. Somehow, some way, you're already connected with me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And the only reason you're here is because I became known to you and I got out of obscurity, right? So that's what you need to do in your business. So I'm kind of talking to my insider group. This is like my insider club. So you got to decide, what is your brand? Who are you online? Like, you may talk about certain interests that you have. You may talk about food. Well, like in my case, what do I talk about? If you follow me on Facebook, then you pretty much know my brand, because that's like my main channel that I post stuff on. So I post food. I like to cook stuff every once in a while, and I'm no master chef, but if I'm excited about a meal that I just cooked, then I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it. Like, I make a mean mushroom soup, right? So I post pictures of that. I make a really good spaghetti sauce, so I post pictures of that. So every time I do something that's fun and unique, I post pictures of it. That's more personal stuff. And then I'm into stocks and digital cryptocurrency. And it's not really my main thing, but it's kind of a side interest. So I post about that, and I have a group where if you want to hear more about that, then you can come join my group. I also love technology. I'm a techie, and if you ever need help with technical stuff, just let me know. But I post techie kind of stuff. Not too techie, but a little bit techie. And then obviously sales. Sales is one of my passions and interests, and I talk about sales, and I do the sales call. And then security. I talk about internet security and privacy and protection and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, photography. I'm a photographer, so I post, about photography and stuff like that. So those are kind of my interests. Well, what are your interests? How are you going to draw people to you? Maybe you like to knit. Maybe you like to bicycle ride. I know we have Greg on the line today, and he's a big bicycle rider, like he does these, 50, 100-mile rides, which is crazy. I mean, I used to do stuff like that, but I don't do it right now. And I give props to Greg for being able to do that. And then the other tip about posting is you got to think about your audience. Who is your audience that you're talking to? Who do you want to attract? Like, what's your product that you sell, and who do you want to attract? So keep that in mind when you're posting, because you're going to attract what you post. If you just post, goofy pictures and jokes, then you're going to attract that kind of people. If you post, stuff about bicycle riding, then you're going to attract people that are into bicycle riding, right? Or knitting or whatever, cooking. Like, I have a friend that's like a master chef up in Washington, and he posts his food that's just amazing. So I'm always enjoying his posts. So you also need to think about what platform is your audience on. Now, you may love Facebook, and a lot of people love Facebook, so that's a good thing. But there's a whole other spectrum of social media out there. There's Snapchat, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's a whole bunch of them. And you need to use all of them. And I know that sounds scary, but your audience is everywhere, okay? So depending on who you want to reach and who your biggest target audience is, then maybe LinkedIn is a great place for you. Now, I know, like, one of the people on the line, Christine, we connected on LinkedIn. And I would have never connected with her if I didn't use LinkedIn, right? So you need to use all of these different platforms. My biggest ones are Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm doing a little bit of Snapchat. I'm trying to use it more, and you may not be aware of how to use it or whatever, and you need to YouTube it and find a way to learn it, maybe talk to a teenager. But you need to create the right stuff for that platform, because just think about yourself. When you go to Facebook, you act a certain way. When you go to Twitter, you act a certain way. You have a certain profile when you go on that platform. When you go on LinkedIn, you have more professional posture, right? You put your tie and coat on, right? You act more businessy. You don't maybe post the same stuff that you would post on Facebook, because maybe Facebook you get a little more personal. So think about the platform that you're on and what kind of content the people there want to see. Like on Snapchat, it's more about, taking video, little selfie video type things and putting little funny character faces on it.
Hi, this is Wayne Wallace, and thank you for listening to this little segment from one of the daily sales training calls. I'd like to invite you to join us live on the daily sales training call. Just head on over to dailysalestrainingcall.com and you can get the live dial-in information. We look forward to having you with us.